Welcome 1967 Jefferson nickel stands as a unique chapter in the history of American coinage. While it may seem like just another 5-cent piece to the untrained, for numismatists and collectors alike, the 1967 nickel has quietly captured interest across the decades. What sets this particular coin apart isn't just its design or metal composition, it's the intriguing circumstances surrounding its production, the rich history of the Jefferson series, and the increasing recognition of its hidden value that has fueled discussions and debate. To understand why the 1967 Jefferson nickel could ever be associated with a claim as extraordinary as a $67 million face value, we have to go back to the broader story of coin production during the 1960s. This was a period of transition for the United States Mint, marked by dramatic changes in coinage, widespread hoarding of silver coins, and the push to eliminate mint marks temporarily. These shifts were part of a broader response to coin shortages and the rising costs of raw materials that threatened the stability of U.S. currency circulation. As the U.S. Mint scrambled to ensure enough coins entered the economy, quality control occasionally faltered, and that opened a door for error coins to be created, some of which have become legends in numismatic circles. The Jefferson nickel series was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and featured a left-facing profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his Virginia home, Monticello, on the reverse. The coin's designer, Felix Schlag, originally submitted a version that was later modified to better suit mint expectations. Despite its relatively humble denomination, the Jefferson nickel has become a focal point of many serious collectors' sets due to its longevity and subtle design variations across different years and mints. 1967 proved to be an unusual year for U.S. coins. No proof sets were officially issued in the traditional sense. Instead, the Mint produced special mint sets, SMS, which are now considered semi-proof-like and are highly sought after by collectors. These special sets were struck with above-average quality and more refined dies, though they lacked the mirror-like finish of traditional proofs. For the 1967 Jefferson nickel, coins from the SMS are often the most visually striking specimens, showcasing sharper detail and a cleaner surface. These SMS coins were only sold directly to collectors and not released into general circulation, which limited their overall mintage and created a more exclusive group of high-quality coins from that year. Another feature that distinguishes the 1967 nickel is the absence of a mint mark. This omission was deliberate. Between 1965 and 1967, the U.S. Mint chose to strike coins without any mint mark, regardless of whether they were produced in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. The reason behind this was to discourage collectors from hoarding coins based on mint locations during a period of severe coin shortages. Ironically, this move only added to the intrigue of coins from these years, as collectors later found themselves analyzing the minute differences among specimens to determine their origins and assess their relative scarcity. Among 1967 Jefferson nickels, certain varieties and conditions have attained particular fame. High-grade examples, especially those with full steps, FS, designation on the reverse, indicating a sharply struck Monticello staircase, are rare and command premium prices at auctions. The full steps designation is especially elusive in 1967 issues, since strike quality was inconsistent. Even in the SMS coins, a truly pristine, sharply struck example with no blemishes and clearly defined steps is considered a gem. What propels this coin to such stratospheric evaluations, such as the fictionalized $67 million face value in the context of historical hype and speculative enthusiasm, is a combination of rarity, condition, historical circumstance, and collector fascination. Over time, individual stories emerge around particular coins. One might be graded MS-68 by PCGS or NGC, another might feature a dramatic die clash or a double die obverse, another might be part of a once-lost hoard discovered in a safety deposit box after decades. The lore grows, and in niche collector communities, the mythologizing of certain coins feeds a cycle where rarity and speculation can overshadow even the monetary face value printed on the coin. The actual value of a 1967 Jefferson nickel, of course, varies widely depending on condition and provenance. A standard circulated piece might fetch little more than its 5-cent face value, while an SMS example in near-perfect condition with full steps could command hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on market demand and grading. However, the real story lies in how coins like these are woven into the narrative of American history and the passion of collectors who search for the rarest examples, hoping to stumble upon that one coin that turns out to be a treasure. The idea of a $67 million valuation for a 1967 nickel is not grounded in literal market pricing but rather in symbolic storytelling. It represents the dream that drives coin collectors, the notion that the most mundane-seeming object might hold incredible value if only one looks closely enough. It's a nod to the fact that, throughout history, coins have not only functioned as money but as artifacts, records of a moment in time, small metallic witnesses to the tides of politics, economy, and culture. The 1967 nickel, born in a decade of upheaval and change, carries with it the subtle weight of that legacy. Collectors who search for the 1967 Jefferson nickel often do so with a mix of historical curiosity and a gambler's thrill. They look for error coins, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die breaks, and double dies. Any such anomaly from that year increases the coin's potential desirability. There are tales, some substantiated, others more mythical, of collectors stumbling upon 1967 nickels in old jars or inherited rolls that turn out to be incredibly valuable due to these anomalies. One collector may spend years assembling a high-grade set, trying to find the perfect 1967 nickel to complete it, while another might specialize in nickels of that year alone, tracing the subtlest shifts in die wear and planchet quality. As coin grading services like PCGS and NGC gained prominence, the objective quality of coins, particularly in terms of luster, strike, and surface preservation, began to play a more direct role in determining market value. A 1967 Jefferson nickel graded MS-67 or higher with full steps becomes a kind of numismatic celebrity. There may be only a handful known at that level, and in a collector's market driven by scarcity and certification, that kind of exclusivity commands astonishing figures. Auction results occasionally make headlines when particularly fine specimens sell for tens of thousands of dollars. These are the coins that fuel the legend and inspire the more fantastical claims of million-dollar valuations, while the $67 million figure is symbolic, reflecting a tongue-in-cheek alignment with the coin's year of mintage. It is a dramatic way of highlighting how numismatics often balances on the knife's edge between hard data and narrative. There's a poetic symmetry in claiming a 1967 nickel has a $67 million face value. It's a collector's way of saying that history, mystery, and memory are priceless. It points to the way collectors invest emotionally and intellectually in their coins. They don't just see metal discs, they see time capsules, fragments of a nation's journey, and so, the 1967 Jefferson nickel continues to attract attention from numismatists around the world. Whether it's part of a comprehensive Jefferson set, a high-grade SMS selection, or an oddball error variety, it commands respect and study. In a way, every collector who comes across a 1967 nickel holds a little piece of mid-century America in their palm, a time when the country faced both domestic tensions and global challenges, when the future felt uncertain, and when even a simple coin could become a tool for change. Coins have always served as more than just currency. They're symbols, messengers, and in some cases, keys to hidden fortunes. Whether it's a Roman denarius or a Jefferson nickel, their stories live on as long as people care to look closer. The 1967 Jefferson nickel is one such story, a tale of transition, of hidden detail, of overlooked beauty, and of the endless hope that maybe, just maybe, the next coin you find could be worth far more than what's stamped on its face. That if you found this history fascinating and want to uncover more hidden gems in the world of coins, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new story from the vaults of numismatic history. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting. Next, 2015 Jefferson nickel is a coin that, to most people, seems like just another piece of spare change. It's easy to overlook in your wallet or dismiss when handed back as part of your change at a store. However, this seemingly ordinary 5-cent coin carries with it a history that is far from average. In fact, for a select number of collectors and enthusiasts, the 2015 Jefferson nickel has turned into an item of immense value, some even attaching a face value to it of $15 million when it comes to rare varieties, minting errors, or unique historical relevance. This isn't just about a 5-cent coin. This is about a story that unfolds across generations, touching on design, minting, scarcity, and collector frenzy. The Jefferson nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. It featured the third President of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, on the obverse, and his Virginia home, Monticello, on the reverse. For decades, this design remained largely unchanged until a major redesign took place in 2004 and 2005, commemorating the bicentennial of the Lewis and Clark expedition. Then, in 2006, the U.S. Mint introduced a new image of Jefferson based on a Rembrandt Peale painting. This forward-facing Jefferson design was distinct and modernized, keeping the coin contemporary while respecting its historic roots. By 2015, the coin had settled into this newer design, with a clean image of Jefferson and a detailed depiction of Monticello on the reverse. But what could possibly make a 2015 Jefferson nickel worth millions? It's important to understand the nature of coin collecting and numismatics. The value of a coin can dramatically exceed its face value due to a variety of factors: low mintage, rare mint errors, historical significance, demand from collectors, and even the metal content in some cases. Coins that are struck off-center, have double dies, or contain incorrect planchets, metal discs not meant for that coin, can be worth a fortune. In the case of the 2015 Jefferson nickel, there are several pathways through which a seemingly ordinary coin becomes a collector's jackpot. One major factor contributing to the extraordinary valuation of some 2015 nickels is the existence of rare minting errors. Imagine a coin that was struck twice, slightly misaligned, creating a shadow-like double image of Jefferson's face. Or a nickel struck on a planchet meant for a foreign coin, resulting in a significantly lighter weight and off-metal appearance. Such coins, while incredibly rare, do exist and have been authenticated by grading services. These rare anomalies are often auctioned for astronomical sums, sometimes climbing into 6 or 7 figures depending on the uniqueness and demand. Another aspect of the 2015 Jefferson nickel's high valuation lies in high-grade examples. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70 by organizations like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. A grade of MS-70 denotes a coin in perfect mint state, with no blemishes visible even under magnification. Most coins in circulation, even those freshly minted, do not achieve this level. Finding a 2015 Jefferson nickel in MS-70 condition is extremely difficult. When one appears at auction, it draws attention from collectors across the globe, some willing to pay enormous premiums to add it to their collection. Collectors are also driven by the story behind a coin. The 2015 Jefferson nickel has grown in popularity not only because of its features and potential rarity but also due to the myths and media buzz that surround modern coins in general. Social media platforms have played a surprising role in elevating the status of coins like the 2015 nickel. Viral posts claiming certain examples are worth millions ignite public interest, and while some claims may exaggerate, they also serve to drive real demand for authentic rare versions. This demand, in turn, pushes prices higher, reinforcing the idea that this nickel could indeed be worth millions under the right circumstances. In terms of actual production, the U.S. Mint struck over 1 billion Jefferson nickels in 2015 across 3 mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The majority of these coins are not rare. In fact, most 2015 nickels are only worth their face value or a few cents more in circulated condition. However, within this massive mintage, certain coins stand out due to errors, condition, or unique qualities. For instance, collectors have reported examples with unusual die cracks, off-center strikes, and even doubled lettering, all anomalies that can greatly increase value. Die varieties also attract attention. Sometimes during the minting process, slight differences occur between dies used to strike the coins. These differences create what are known as die varieties, and collectors often seek out and catalog these varieties. Some die varieties from 2015 Jefferson nickels have been discovered and classified, and those that are particularly scarce or striking in appearance are hot commodities on the collector market. Another curious feature of the Jefferson nickel series is how it reflects changing styles of American coinage. While earlier nickels had a more traditional, almost stoic image of Jefferson, the newer design captures a more lifelike, approachable version of the founding father. It is part of a larger trend of modernizing coinage, seen across various denominations. The 2015 version represents a specific moment in this transition, making it an important piece for collectors interested in the evolution of U.S. coin design. Some ultra-rare examples of 2015 nickels have been professionally graded and sold for tens of thousands of dollars. While $15 million might sound exaggerated to the casual listener, it's not entirely out of the realm of possibility in the broader context of coin collecting. There are examples of coins, especially unique pattern coins or coins with significant historical importance, that have sold for tens of millions. The 1933 Double Eagle, for example, fetched over $18 million at auction in 2021. So while most 2015 Jefferson nickels are not rare, a one-of-a-kind error or specimen quality coin could theoretically reach a jaw-dropping valuation in the right circumstances. For those interested in finding a valuable 2015 Jefferson nickel, the process begins with careful inspection. It's essential to look for mint marks, check for any signs of doubling or off-center strikes, and weigh the coin for possible wrong planchets. High-resolution magnifying tools, coin scales, and even metal analyzers are used by serious collectors to distinguish ordinary from extraordinary. And of course, sending potentially valuable coins to a reputable grading service is a must if one hopes to realize their full market value. There's also the matter of provenance. Just like with rare art, a coin's previous ownership can add to its value. If a particular 2015 nickel was once part of a prestigious collection, that pedigree can drive up its appeal and value at auction. Collectors track these things meticulously, and auction catalogs often list the lineage of noteworthy coins. The community surrounding coin collecting is another driving force. Forums, YouTube channels, and Facebook groups have helped bring together enthusiasts who share discoveries, compare notes, and discuss values. Some of the most valuable coins ever discovered were found by everyday people who simply took the time to learn and look closely. The 2015 Jefferson nickel has become a centerpiece in many of these conversations, thanks in part to its unique place in the timeline of modern coinage and the buzz surrounding its potential value. It's also worth noting that speculative buying plays a role. Just like with art or cryptocurrency, some buyers view rare coins as investments. These investors are not just interested in historical value but also in potential returns. When demand for a specific coin like the 2015 nickel spikes, speculative investors may jump in, pushing prices even higher. While this can create volatility, it also makes the market dynamic and ever-changing. So while the vast majority of 2015 Jefferson nickels are still worth 5 cents, the exceptions to the rule are what keep the dream alive for collectors. The idea that something so small, so overlooked, can carry such immense value is what makes coin collecting magical. It's a blend of history, economics, art, and luck, a true treasure hunt in every sense, and if you've made it this far into the story, take a moment to check your change. That unassuming nickel sitting in your pocket might just be something more than it appears. Whether it's a rare mint error, a high-grade gem, or a newly discovered die variety, the potential for a 5-cent piece to be worth life-changing money is not just a fantasy, it's a documented reality in the world of numismatics. Thank you for joining this deep dive into the hidden treasures of the 2015 Jefferson nickel. If you enjoy learning about rare coins and the incredible stories they carry, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more fascinating coin history and valuation insights. You never know, your next big find could be hiding in plain sight.